Oh, well, I was trying to, like, give them a go. But you give them an inch and they took a mile. I could have given them the cane, but I tried to put on a good act and not to. So I sit them out rather than give them the cane.
How did you feel about walking out of the room?
I felt pretty disgusted.
With yourself or with them?
At myself and at them.
What were you going to do the next lesson that you came in?
Oh, I would have put on a really stern act. Put on an iron fist.
No, I can, you know, sort of punish a guy and not feel any regret.
No, I didn't. Look, when I first came to this school, which is 4 years ago, I'd made up my mind that I wasn't going to use the cane.
You were going to use it.
Well, I don't know what stage. You weren't... I don't think you were here in the first year that I came, were you? You've had... Yeah, well, look, I know. I caned some people. The point was, I found that I got to this school and I stuck it out for about 6 months, refusing to cane, and in fact I found that I had no alternative. I was losing control of the class, I was losing discipline completely. And the reason was that everyone was used to getting the cane for what I considered to be trivial offences. Now, the only reason that I would ever consider giving the cane, and I doubt very much if I would now even consider giving the cane, but the only thing that I would use it for would be if someone was deliberately rude to me. I hadn't expressed my personal opinions up to this point because very often a teacher's attitudes can influence a class too much.
Talking about how difficult it is to do impressionist type painting. Yeah. You know, that you think that you'll be all right. You know, which is self-interest somehow. You're not doing a very good dictation of what you see. I mean, you're doing what you see.
For my own information, I'd asked some of their other subject teachers to write comments on the class. I asked them if they objected to anything they'd written being read out to the boys. None of them did. How do you feel about comments by teachers about you? How important is it to you? David?
It's interesting to find out how they feel about you, because you're not with them all the time, and if you hear something from them back at you, you may broaden your mind of well, if they're worthwhile stirring, or oh gee, comment about me, gee, I don't think that's true. I didn't think that of myself. I'd better straighten myself up, you know.
Do you think it is a genuine way for improving relationships between teachers and students?
Well, for me it is.
Yeah, I'm just curious what they think about us. You know, like they never say or express what they think about us, but that's all we say. You know, all the year how we hate them, and it's good fun stirring them and like that. We just like to get their side of it.
Nick Constantino, a loud mouth, knows when to behave, and can be quite mature, but likes to have his say. Alan Burns, a shit. Always. All right. Okay. Alan, you really wanted me to say that, didn't you? Yeah. Always a one-way proposition, his. Disruptive in class.
What?
Rebellious against authority. Refuses to accept corporal punishment.
Who wrote that one?
Obnoxious to women teachers. Brad Cook, a good cricketer. Quiet, insecure, and shy. Greg Hobbs, needs a firm hand. Sulky. Bill Maglis, good at sport. Works but stirs at other times and keen to please. Carl Marley, very good worker, nice kid. Wayne Redman, very, very childish. Does nothing but smile. Friendly. I think we better put it out then. Alan.
Put it out,
Put it out. Come on.
Where you put it out?
Well,
Out the window.
Finish it off.
butt it on the window and... No, come on. I have spoken to you about smoking before. We are in school. For tonight, I've asked the boys to find out what their parents' attitudes are to corporal punishment and come back tomorrow with a report.
I've got 7 opinions from parents what they think of corporal punishment. Well, the first one thinks that it's not necessary to a great extent, you know, like it's practiced sometimes. The second is that they think that it's necessary, and in a nutshell, beat the shit out of them. 3, no, it shouldn't be done. Instead, take away their privileges. Example, keeping them in at lunchtime, playtime, and after school. 4, it should happen only in certain cases. Example, if cheek is given to a teacher and purposely someone does something serious, like hit the teacher in the head or something. 5, yes, there would be no discipline without corporal punishment. 6, caning shouldn't be done. Instead, the teacher should kick the living daylights out of them. And 7, it's only needed when warranted.
Why do you think that parents have this weighted opinion towards corporal punishment? Yes.
You must admit, in those days, they had corporal punishment a lot harder than what we had it. We've just got it easy. They want us to be brought up hard and stricken like they were, not to be brought up like sort of immature little adults. They want to be sort of us so we can be tough, like they are.
You think that corporal punishment makes you tough?
Yeah, it makes you sort of, not actually tough, but, you know, it gives you discipline and to respect yourself.
To be taught like this isn't really that hard, getting the cane. Really put something in your mind that you will be a good citizen, other than just being a flop, being a bum, just, you know, not doing nothing to aid Australia, you know.
What I want you to do now is to think of other people that it might be worthwhile asking their opinions about the things that we've been talking about. Righto. People in the street.
Yeah, can I do that, sir? I'd love to ask people. This is Norman from Australia. Dave High's boy.
You know what we reckon is a good teacher?
A good teacher.
Like Mr. B or Mr. H.
Do you want them to come in here? Yeah. Or will you take a tape recorder or something like that to them?
Have fun because I've been here, boy. Mrs. Conti, I'm going to get myself to go now that years.
Right, okay. Cool it. Thank you. Philip has already managed to get a teacher interviewed, so let's hear from him.
Well, we're chucking comments at Mr. Bill's way of teaching, and Fergus went out and asked him and gave him... We subjected him to what we thought in the classroom, and he was pretty fair about everything. He listened to what we said, and he said he wants to be on the same level as everyone. He doesn't want to be higher than the pupils. He wants to just be able to talk straight out. He said that he had to act tough because he's got to show everyone they have respect for him. But then Nick said that we could see through you, and he said, well, you probably could because it wasn't such a good act, you know. And so we asked him about corporal punishment and how he uses it and everything, and he said he used to give the cane, he still does when it's necessary. He said he tries more to reason with the kids more than use corporal punishment as a last resort.